Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for our championship preview and predictions. Round 29. We are nearly 2/3 of the way through this 21-22 season. Time flies when you are having fun, doesn't it? We hope you are having fun tonight and you are joining us. Do me a favor straight away. Please hit that thumbs up button on the stream. Let's get into as many people's YouTube feeds as we can. Give me a big thumbs up wherever you're watching, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. We're going to go through each and every one of the 12 games. Are we back to normal now? Is it going to be 12 games every round? Are the postponements done? I hope so. We're going to go through each and every one. We'll be here for the next hour, and we want your predictions in the chat. And we also want you to get involved over at the fabled Football 365 predictor game. Go and log in, football365.com, sign up with your email, and you can join the fun and games. Many of these people I can see in the chat popping up my screen are in that table. Some of them are above me as well. I'm not really a fan of that, but I'm a fan of them joining in and playing. We're also partnered today with betfair.com for each one of my predictions. We will give you the odds from our friends at betfair.com if you fancy a little bit of fun at the weekend. Please gamble responsibly. Let's say hello to lots of people in the chat. Let me know you can see me, hear me loud and clearly. All of that good stuff. Eddie, Ewan, Thomas, Pecan, HM, Yanis, Catherine, Justin, TJ, Tim, Plucky, Dave, Ollie, David, Claire, Jake, Alex, Annie. I'm going to do it without breathing. Stephen, and Ryan, Andrew, Vindaloo, Damien, Will, Noah, Balboa, Nick, Serpent Raider, Sam. That's it. That's all the hellos I'm doing there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. One more plug before we get into it. Thank you, as ever, to the good old Donovan brothers, good old Millwall boys they are. They sponsor in memory of their dad, Dennis, and brother Mike, both sorely missed, cheering on Millwall from above. Thank you to the Donovans. They're sponsoring for the second season running here, our preview. So they got involved over on Patreon. You too can get involved on patreon.com. Did I do it? Did I do it quickly enough? Now, there's other news. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert here. I'm normally really organised, and this is my notes for this show. But look at the two empty columns at the end. I've normally made my predictions already, but I haven't had time today, so I've got all the info. So I'm going to be heavily influenced by you guys. They're normally set in stone and sent off to the editor at Football 365 by now. They're not. We're going to decide on the hoof for once. All good fun. We let you away with it in midweek because there's only 6 games. I need you to use your joker to justify any odd results. All of those ridiculous contrarian Peterborough predictions last week. They lost 3-0, for goodness sake. Let's get some better behaviour in tonight. You need to play one of these as well. Statistics say there will be a nil at some point during this game week of 12 games. So use that joker, use that 0-0 as and where you see fit. You don't have to use it. You can use it more than once. It's all a little bit of fun, isn't it? Let the fun begin, guys. And we need to start off with game number 1, which is for the umpteenth week running, or the umpteenth week this season. It's Fulham who are first again. Fulham versus Blackpool. Get your predictions in, please. Fulham, draw or Blackpool. Fulham, draw or Blackpool. The obvious narrative is now Fulham may or may not disappear into the distance and take the championship title. They were 8 points in front, but Blackburn got that win. Fulham do have a game in hand. We're expecting goal-scoring records to be broken by Fulham between now and the end of the season. They're on 73 goals. They're on 4 straight wins. They're top of the table. They've got fewer defeats than anyone else in the league. And just to show off, last week they went to Stoke without the best goal scorer and the best creative player, and they still won, and they still scored 3 goals. In short, Fulham are very good at the moment. However, Blackpool may have turned the figurative corner, the metaphorical corner. 3 wins in 5. We paused for thought a little bit after they beat Peterborough and Hull, and we all said, okay, they were the League One colleagues last year. But a win against Millwall last time, 3 wins in 5, moving back towards the middle. Blackpool, are they starting to right their poor run? I don't know. You tell me in the chat. Fulham, draw, or Blackpool. Fulham, draw, or Blackpool. Let me give you your Bloom numbers. In, excuse me, in the table, I've genuinely got something stuck in my throat here. But how hot is this tea? I don't want to completely... I think we got it. I think there's like a tiny bit of dinner, excuse me, caught in the back of my throat. Not good for a stream. I literally cannot talk at the moment. Right, we'll try and give you those numbers. Fulham in the table by 13, in the XG by 15, in the form table by 9, in the homes and aways by 15, in the goal scoring by 16, and in the goals against by 12. So all of the numbers point towards Fulham, as you'd imagine, with the league leaders at this stage. Right, let's jump in here. Where should we start? God, we've got loads of predictions. It might have to be just a click-through for sure, but let's try and get all of these. Fulham missing some players. Reed, Robinson, Tete. We don't know if Mitro and Wilson are healthy. We assume they will be with a 5-day isolation period now. Where are we? Come on, you lot. Come on. Let's keep the comments focused here. I'm looking for Fulham and Blackpool predictions. There we go. I think that's the same team news we were having. Thank you. I'm always interested to know about team news and bogey teams as well. Always good fun. I'm clicking through. I can't. We got a nice full chat today. Go on, Ben. Play your joker on Blackpool. Yeah, Blackpool did win the first game against Fulham, didn't they? One of the few times Fulham have lost. But what we seem to have found recently is you shouldn't upset Fulham. Don't take the lead against them. They're sure to score 2 goals in the next 10 minutes. Look, I'm going all in. I'm going with the numbers. I'm going with the sort of more heavily financed squad and the parachute team. Home. The question is, will they rattle in over 2 goals? The more games they do this in, to be quite plain about this, to become record breakers, it's 3 goals per game. I think they're averaging something crazy like 2.456 or something like that. And to get it up there, they need to keep hitting the 3s, and they will be well over Man City's record of 108 goals. I think they can get another 3 goals. I think Blackpool have got dangerous players. If Bowler's still there, I know lots of transfer window stuff. Lavery, Medine seems to be doing all right. So I will go for a 3-1 victory to Fulham if you head over to the Football 365 predictor. And that comes in at under 10-1. So you can see Fulham are obviously hot favourites on that one. 9-1 for a 3-1 win to Fulham. If you fancy, go on betfair.com. Please gamble responsibly, of course. On we go. This is an interesting one, this. Luton versus Blackburn. Sounds like good fun to me, that one. Luton in pretty decent form. And their last 4 home games, basically, they've drawn with Fulham. They've beaten Bournemouth. They beat Bristol City in the week and dismembered Harrogate in the Cup. They're good at the Kenny at the moment, Luton. And when they get a game in hand unopposed, they seem to win it, don't they, Luton? 3 wins in 4 now, and they're up to the top 10. Remember, they dropped down during the Omicron surge and the postponements coming in. Get your predictions in, guys. Luton draw Blackburn. And what else is there to say about Blackburn? They look more viable than ever. Everyone was watching on Sky. They played on a Monday night after everybody else had played. They didn't have the Chilean sensation and also Joe Rothwell in midfield. And Boro gave them a stiff old test, balls into the box, all of that good stuff. They won 1-0. They're in second. They're 3 points clear. Are we all just admitting now a viable automatic or at least top 4 challenge here for Blackburn this season? Should be a good one. Get your predictions in. Luton draw Blackburn. Luton draw Blackburn. And, of course, we can mention Roy Wegerle and Mike Newell. Let's call it the Roy Wegerle derby, this one. Right, your numbers have Blackburn by 10 in the table. Luton by 4 in the XG. Luton's XG difference better by 4. Form table, Blackburn at top. Blackburn by 7. Homes and aways, Blackburn by 7, excuse me. And that takes into account Luton's pretty good home form. Goals scored, Blackburn by 4, but Luton are high. Luton are top 6. Goals, we hope in this one, because it's second top scorer against sixth top scorer. And the defences aren't the greatest, 9th and 13th. And it's Blackburn by 4. Let's see what you guys are saying. Sorry, we're really well populated today, so unlikely to be able to read lots and lots of stuff here. Where are we going to dive in? Do you need your joker for a Luton home win? Maybe. 8 places difference, isn't it? Let's get as many of these up on the screen as we can. Fairly well mixed as I'm looking down. I'm going to keep clicking them. Luton 2-0 Blackburn. Some draws going in there. Home win. Entertaining game. That sounds like the sort of thing that we're going to get. Should be on the telly, really, this one. Shouldn't it? There we go. Have I clicked as many on the screen? Blackburn's banana skin. Well, yes. Kenilworth Road is always a banana skin, isn't it? Oh, God. I'm finding this one hard to call. I might have to go for a scoring draw, I think, in this one. Shall we throw the Desmond in already? I think I'm going to draw. Look, I can't find a reason why either of these teams would lose this game per se. So let's go for my normal solution to 2 teams that are good scoring. I can't particularly separate. Let's go for a Desmond 12-1 for it to be 2-2. Over on betfair.com. I've gone for Luton 2, Blackburn 2. Should be a really good matchup, this one, in the Roy Wegerle derby, of course. What price did I get for that? Sorry, guys. I'm not with it today. 12-1. There you go. This is going to be a long one today. So we had a 9 and a 12 already. Wait for my combined price over at betfair.com. Right, here we go. Game number 3 is Barnsley versus Bournemouth. Oh, dear. It's getting awkward now predicting Barnsley because their struggles are real. And today I have done the video, the 10 worst teams in Championship history. A lot of people have been asking me in terms of points projections and Barnsley and how bad this could get for Barnsley if it continues. I think the answer is they're projecting 24-point-something points at the moment. Lowest ever is Rotherham with 23, and then it's 26 for Stockport. So at the moment, Barnsley are projecting to be the second worst Championship team of all time. We're not tarring Derby quite with that. I know they're on the same points, but 21 points deducted there, and a little bit more of a sense that they'll score some more points. But yeah, it's just been going horribly badly for Barnsley, and they've got to play third in the table, Bournemouth. But they are playing them at home. Small mercies, and small mercies as well, because Bournemouth have had back-to-back defeats. But sorry, Barnsley fans at the moment, if you want to come off back-to-back defeats, Barnsley's the team. Although I will say, one of the defeats against Luton, okay, Luton are decent enough, aren't they, in 10th? The other was against Hull, who are in the bottom 6. So, look, there is form for Bournemouth losing recently, isn't there? Get your predictions in, please, guys. Barnsley draw or Bournemouth. You will 100% need your joker here if you are going to call a Barnsley win. Just cautionary lesson after those ridiculous Peterborough predictions that seemed to be very contrary last week. Go with some logic. If you are playing the joker, we need some reasoning there. Why on earth could Barnsley beat Bournemouth? A lot says that they won't at the moment. Let me give you your numbers. Table, Bournemouth by 21. XG, Bournemouth by 20. Form, okay. Barnsley are bottom of the form table. Bournemouth are 17th in the form table. That's not great at all, is it? Homes and aways is Bournemouth by 13. Goals scored, Bournemouth are in the top 6 for both of these last two, by the way, by 21 and then by 17 for goals and against. So as you can imagine, given Bournemouth have been up there all season and Barnsley have been down there all season, all the numbers point to a Bournemouth win. Stranger things have happened in the Championship, for goodness sakes, haven't they? Where am I going to start? Let's get all your predictions up on the screen. Really happy to say that there's loads of people watching. Hit that like button. Does mean I can't read all of the predictions, else we will indeed be here all day. A 3-1, a 3-0, a 2-0. A couple of jokers going in. I think at best they're coming in at a draw. A few of you diving in. There's another 3-0, etc., etc. There we go. We're getting them all up on the screen. Oh, they haven't, have they, Lenny? I'll have just officially announced Arveladze. We will get to that at the end of the show. Someone remind me. I am in the middle of about to yell out the word beginning with A. Away. I don't think it'll be too big or too clever. Maybe they'll just win 1-0 or something, but it just doesn't fit. I just don't see Barnsley beating Bournemouth, I'm afraid. If they do, more power to them. And Bournemouth are really in a bad run if that does indeed happen with Barnsley abject bottom. I've gone for a 1-0 down there. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. You get 11-2 on that one. Please gamble responsibly. If you do, head over to Betfair to have a look at that one. Right, up next is QPR versus Reading. Get your predictions in. QPR draw or Reading. QPR draw or Reading. We watched QPR, didn't we, on Tuesday night? 0-0 with Swansea. They weren't that great, were they? Wasn't the best game, to be honest. Didn't look like world beaters in that game, QPR, but they are having a good season, aren't they? And they come off the run of 4 straight victories. Reading, well, they lost the game. They scored 3 goals in this game last time out, but they did concede 4. They're on a horrible, horrible run. Obviously, the real league table would only now have them up 1 place. They're 21st. But at the 6 points on, they'd be 20th. However, and I do think this is an important distinction between Reading and some of the other teams down there, Zhao is back. The 2 AFCON fullbacks are back as well. So potentially they're putting Swift and Lucas Zhao, Laurent Ajari is still not there. Maite is still not there. But they look a bit stronger than they did a few weeks ago in terms of personnel, maybe. But they've got to go away to QPR, which is a difficult task. QPR draw Reading. QPR draw Reading. Get your thoughts in. Let me give you the numbers. Reading, and I'm not doing the real league table. This is the actual league table with the deductions. QPR by 17 in that. XG difference, QPR by 12. QPR do outperform their XG, by the way. Form, QPR by 16. Homes and aways, they're tied. QPR 14th best at home. Reading 14th best away. Goals scored, QPR by 4. Goals against QPR by 12. So other than that, tied up homes and aways, clean sweep for QPR in the numbers. Let's get some predictions in the chat here. Where do I begin to find predictions of the game that I just did? Right, there we go. Rangers. 0-0. Rangers. Good luck with QPR on a 0-0. Rangers. Oh, we have one on Tuesday. Fair point. There we go. Let's click through as many of these as we possibly can. Looks, and I'm squeaking through here. There's a couple of jokers, but it looks like we are in the main behind QPR on this one. I think it's a bit tighter than Betfair have got it, to be honest. If you do go on Reading, you can get a huge price, I think 6-1-ish, maybe even longer. No, got even longer than that, for goodness sakes. I think it might be a bit tighter than we think, but surely I've got to go for Rangers. Haven't I? I think the worst it'll get for Rangers will be a draw. No, I'm going to go for Rangers. Home. But let's go with my usual logic, which is probably always flawed, that Reading can score. So let's go. Should we go for a 2-1-er? That's always a fairly safe bet. 2-1 to the home team. Whatever's going down. Let's do it. God, look at that Reading last 5 games and all defeats in there. That's including an FA Cup game, of course. 13-2. Not too shabby for a 2-1 win to QPR in that one. We are going to move on. Yeah, here's an interesting one. I reckon we'll be quite split on this one, guys. Millwall versus West Brom. Both sides arguably... Let's have a swig of my tea. Both sides arguably not in good form. Millwall have lost 3 on the bounce. They've lost 4 in 5, actually. Only lost 9 games all season. It's that typical Rowett, draw a lot, don't lose many, isn't it? West Brom have also drawn 9, actually, but the expectations are a lot higher at West Brom because they're a parachute team. And, yeah, it seemed a bit gnarly on my social media, speaking to West Brom fans, after the home defeat against Preston this week, this midweek. That was the first home defeat of the season, wasn't it? They were undefeated and home gurus up until that point, weren't they? But I don't know. Smell test isn't passing at West Brom at the moment, is it? And Daryl DK brought in to solve the goal scoring problems. He's out for 8 weeks now. Unhelpful, very unhelpful for poor old Big Val there. He predictions here. Millwall draw West Brom. Millwall draw West Brom. Numbers. Table West Brom by 10. XG West Brom by 15. Form West Brom by 8. Homes and aways Millwall by 8. West Brom are not good away from home. In fact, West Brom are in the bottom 4 in terms of away form over the past 8 games for them. However, here's an interesting one. Millwall aren't very good at scoring. They're 20th. So West Brom by 10. And West Brom don't concede many. So it's West Brom by 7 on the goals conceded. And they do still have the best defence, or the fewest goals conceded, however you want that worded, in the division. So, I don't know. There's a few things shaking each other out there at the end, isn't there? Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat. We'll talk about Shota Arveladze at the end of the stream. Thank you, everybody, for letting me know. Right, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's click through as many of these as we can. A few Rowett 1-1s coming in. A few Mills coming in. Not a lot of confidence around West Brom, even from our Baggies friends as well. Looks like Val's been given the Millwall game to show he can turn it around. Not good. 0-0. If we're lucky, we are imploding. Fans chanting for Slaven Bilic. Lots of people playing their 0-0 here, which means I'd better put our lovely picture up. Where are they? There they are. Go on, Dice. Go on, Warney. Beautiful. Okay. I think you've convinced me that nobody is going to win this game. Draw. I won't play my 0-0. I'm being contrary now because a lot of you have. So I'll leave that with you guys. I will dive in on an unhelpful for both teams 1-1. 5-1 over at betfair.com. On a Gary Rowett special, a 1-1 draw doesn't help anyone, especially not Big Val. He needs wins now, doesn't he? And he doesn't have DK, and he's losing the support of the Baggies fans at the moment, isn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do one more, and then I'm going to do a read, okay? Huddersfield versus Stoke is our next game. Get your predictions in for this one. Huddersfield draw Stoke. Huddersfield draw Stoke. We will be watching along tomorrow night on Sky Sports. Come and join me from 7:30. I'm guessing it's a 7:45. Have I got it up on the wall? Yes. Join me from 7:30 tomorrow night. Should be good fun, we hope. What's going to happen, though? Which sets of fans is it going to be good fun for? Well, Huddersfield keep winning, don't they? And Danny Ward got a hat-trick. And look, I flipped to the other side last week. I'm so fed up of Huddersfield proving me wrong and embarrassing me every week. I'm just going to start backing them. And it worked last week. So I don't know. I may just do it again. Stoke, well, their fans were quite optimistic after the game against Fulham, weren't they? And we like Philogene Bidas and DiMaggio Wright Phillips, and Harwood Bellis is now trying to sort of settle in there. It does look like a little rejuvenation. Powell is back as well, which is great news. But then they lost to Coventry in midweek as well. So a lot of those theories kind of get debunked a little bit by that defeat, don't they? So I'm not too sure on Stoke, and I'm not sure on Huddersfield, but they always prove me wrong. So I'm more sure about Huddersfield than I am about Stoke I think. Get your predictions in. Terriers draw Potters. Huddersfield draw Stoke. Numbers. Huddersfield by 5 in the table. Stoke by 5 with the XG. Huddersfield by 13 in the form. Stoke by 2 in the homes and aways. This is literally flip-flopping. Huddersfield by 6 goals scored. And goals against Stoke by 10. So literally 50-50 on the numbers that I choose to kind of judge predictions by. In short, I need your help. I don't have a clue. So get your predictions in. Huddersfield draw Stoke. Indulge me. I need some more tea. Oh, that's good. I think my throat's sorted now. Or whatever was stuck in it. Right. Here we go. Oh, sorry. David, legend. Thank you very, very kindly. £5 super chat there, David, or super sticker. Thank you very, very much indeed. Let me drink to you again one more time. David, you're legend. Thank you so, so much. Right. We are looking for Stoke and Huddersfield predictions. Let's dive in here. Stoke poor in midweek. It's mixed, isn't it? 0-0 on a Friday night. Please, no, Jake. Please. There's no other games to distract us from. A few 0-0s going in there. Lots of 0-0s going in. I don't like it. Do you know, I might obstinately not play my 0-0 now. 2-2. That's more like it. We'll take a 2-2 in the watch along, won't we? There we go. 2-1 Stoke. Huddersfield. Stoke nothing to lose against Fulham. Maybe. Terriers slightly more dependable. I think so. At the moment. Stoke have got good players, haven't they? Do you know what? I'm going to play my joker. And I can't believe I'm going to do this because I've been mugged off by Huddersfield a million times. And Huddersfield fans, line up, call me an imbecile after this, but I'm going to play my joker. Sorry. Here it comes. Away. I don't know what I'm doing or why I'm doing this. I'm pressing the self-destruct on my own prediction show here. I'm going to go for Stoke. And do you know what? Will I keep a clean sheet? No, they probably won't, will they? I'm going to go 2-1 Stoke. How about that? The Joker has been played, everybody, or maybe the imbecile card in my case, because I'm always wrong. I said I wasn't going to do it. I've backed against Huddersfield again. Incoming Huddersfield win for sure. But if you do fancy Stoke 2-1, we'll pay 9-1 at betfair.com. Please gamble responsibly. For God's sake, only gamble what you can afford. For even more God's sake, 18 plus only. And if you want some info, begambleaware.org. Right, quick plug, guys. You know that we've got a new partner. Have a look at the ticker along the bottom. That is Jim Vintage Clothing. Head over to www.jimvintage.com to have a look at what's on the website. They're sustainable streetwear and sort of gym wear from recycled materials or organic cotton, free delivery and returns, easy payment over on the website through ClearPay or Klarna. Apparently, I'm getting sent something, so I won't have to wear my Ron Swanson sweatshirt anymore. But hoodies, sweats, joggers, T-shirts, caps and bags. We've got a giveaway coming soon, but Dan has been a very good lad at Jim Vintage and given us a discount code. So remember this, BBFC space Jan. That's BBFC space Jan at checkout. 15% off everything at www.jimvintage.com. And thanks as ever for indulging any sponsorship reads or stuff like that. It helps the channel grow, helps us become a bit more viable. I know some of you get bored of them, but we got to do it. And it's a good product there, jimvintage.com. And they're investing in grassroots as well, sponsoring Farnham Town as well on their shirts, as well as our lovely channel here. Right, game number 7. Look, how pro is that? Half an hour in as well. Excellent. Right, game number 7 is Cardiff. Whilst I break my arm, slapping myself on the back. Cardiff versus Nottingham Forest. Predictions, please, guys. Cardiff, draw, Forest. Cardiff, draw, Forest. Fairly straightforward narrative, this, unless you factor in the Championship chaos theory, is that Forest are good and Cardiff aren't at the moment and for the majority of the season. And we've seen lots of stats telling us that were it not for points deductions, Cardiff would be in that bottom 3 below both, of course, Reading and Derby. Ifs, buts and maybes. 3 wins on the bounce for Forest, who had a little slip, didn't they? Back-to-back defeats. But big win in the Derby match, the Brian Clough Derby. El Clufico was 1-2-1, and they beat Barnsley at home. I know everyone's beaten Barnsley at home, but you've got to take those 3 points, even against the side down at the bottom. Get your predictions in. Cardiff draw, Forest. Cardiff draw or Forest. Does home form help Cardiff? No. Not according to these numbers. Here they come. In the table, Forest by 13. XG, Forest by 5. Form, Forest by 18. Homes and aways, Forest by 20. 20. Third best away team plays 23rd best home team. Goodness me. Goals for and against. Forest in the top 6 for both. Cardiff in the bottom 6 for both. That smells like a clean sweep for Nottingham Forest in all the stats and numbers that we can sort of bring up as it pertains to this game. Predictions, guys. Forest draw, Cardiff. Forest draw, Cardiff. Let's have a look and see what you've got here. Where am I going to start? Where do I begin? There. Okay, here we go. Forest, 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 Forest. You get the odd joker. Forest, Forest, Desmond, another joker. Forest, another joker. Forest, 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 another joker. Forest, Forest, Joker, Joker. Let's keep diving through all of these. Forest to overtake Baggies by Sunday. Is that possible? I have to check the goal difference there. Yeah, it looks like it is. That was a quick glance. There we go. Everyone has beat Barnsley at home, except West Brom. Is that true? Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Right, what am I going for then? God, I'm going to state the bleeding obvious then. The numbers and the evidence all says that it will be away. So I'll go for Forest with normal Championship chaos theory in my back pocket. And will Cardiff score? I don't suspect they will. 2-0. We are pushing 10-1 on that one. Shall I pull it back to 1-0? Oh, no, I've got to go with my first instinct, haven't I? 2-0. I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest to win that one. You get 10-1. This is going to be a big price for our combined £1 bet at the end, isn't it? Betfair.com, 2-0 to Nottingham Forest will pay you 10-1. Please gamble responsibly. Make a little jingle out of that, couldn't we? I'm sure someone has already. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. 5 to go. Boro versus Coventry. Please get your predictions in for this one. Middlesbrough draw, Coventry, Boro draw, or Coventry. The Dean Gordon derby. How about that? Good shout, that one, isn't it? I think he played for both. Embarrassing if he didn't now, isn't it? Middlesbrough, well, their excellent winning streak ended, but it ended away at Blackburn, who are second in the table and flying at the moment. Maybe we see Riley McGree. I don't know. Maybe we see Martin Pereiro. They did look a bit misfiring with their shooting. Could have got something, couldn't they? We can't really have a problem with Matt Crooks. He's had a good season. But will we see Follering Balogun start for the first time? I think we might. Coventry had a good victory, didn't they, against Stoke in midweek. So they're spotty at the moment, Coventry. Lost to Millwall, thrashed Peterborough, lost to QPR, and in the week they beat Stoke. So lose-win in the last 4 for Coventry. And they have to travel away to the Riverside. And we know Coventry are better at home than they are away. Get your predictions in, please. Boro, draw, Cov. Boro, draw, or Coventry. Here are your numbers. In the table, it's tight, this one, actually. In the table, it's Boro by 1. In the XG, it's Boro by 3. Okay, it's only tight for those first 2. Form table, Boro by 12. Homes and aways, Boro by 8. Goals scored, and we just mentioned a slightly misfiring attack. Coventry by 5, but goals conceded. Boro by 6. Does that all even out at the end? Get your predictions in for me, please. Boro draw, Cov. Boro draw or Cov. Let's get some of these up on the screen. Keep them coming. George Boateng and Noel Whelan derby. You love to see it. You absolutely loved it. George Boateng. What a great mention that is. Where am I going with this one? I don't know where to begin. Where are we starting? I can see the word Boro there, so I'm going to start there. Sorry if I missed you out. Start at Ben. Boro draw, Boro draw. Cov haven't lost away in 3 months. Interesting. That crept up on me, Matt, didn't it? Draw. Boro, draw. Do we need the Joker for this one? You don't need the Joker for this one, Simon. They're close in the table, but get rid of it if you need to. Boro, draw, Boro. Yeah, I agree. It should be a good game, actually, shouldn't it? Let's click on all of these. Sorry if your prediction doesn't get read out. We will be here all night. McGree's not going to be playing. Thank you, Jake. There we go. I stand corrected. That's why we have you lot here in the chat. Yeah, look, the Coventry fans are robbing me for having to go at their away form. They're right. Okay, they're right. My bad. Haven't lost since October away from home. My bad. There you go. I think we got all the predictions clicked on there. I've got no clue how to call this one, but I don't think it will be a draw. I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling. I'm conflicted. I'm gonna go for Boro, I think. Home. I don't see there being a lot in this one though. So I think I might go for, well, whenever I'm not sure, you know what's coming up, don't you? 2-1 home win. But let's do that. Boro 2, Coventry 1, I will go for. 15-2, so not massively long odds on that one. But honestly, really unsure on that one. Really, really unsure. Before midweek, I probably would have been strongly on Boro. So maybe I shouldn't let one game flip my perception. But hey, a game is a long time in the Championship, as you lot know better than me. Right, moving on. Peterborough versus Sheffield United. Posh versus Blaze. Get your predictions in. Peterborough draw, Sheffield United. Peterborough draw, Sheffield United. Peterborough nearly won an away game. They were 2-0 up against Birmingham with 5 to go. And in the time it takes to have a sip of tea, it was 2-2. And they didn't win. And they would be so much more confident if they had. But it's like a defeat, isn't it, there? Okay, look, it's a point. It's not like a defeat. It's literally not a defeat. But you know what I mean in terms of the Peterborough confidence there. Sheffield United, well, did they play in midweek? I don't think they did they? No. So it was the weekend they beat Luton, didn't they? So have they had the blip? Because they won a few games on the trot under Heckingbottom, didn't they? Lost to Derby, drew to Preston, but played 10 men and were 2-0 up. I wonder if they're going to start another winning run now, Sheffield United. We know Peterborough are better at home than away, but there's far more of a sense, and I'm not saying Sheffield United are, away and firing now, but there's far smaller gap now between our expectations for the Sheffield United squad and their performance, I think, because it was miles apart earlier in the season. Get your predictions in. Sheffield United, Posh draw or Sheffield United. Numbers. Look, they don't work well for Posh, obviously, because we're now 26 games in for the Posh and they're 22nd in the league. So the evidence is quite damning against them. But we do include some recency in our research here. Table, Blades by 11. XG, Blades by 16. Form, Blades by 19. Ouch. Homes and away, Blades by 15. Goals scored, Blades by 12. Goals against, Blades by 10. That's a clean sweep, isn't it? One of those. Brother. Should rip my shirt off halfway through. We haven't done Birmingham and Scott Hogan yet, have we? Let's look at your predictions first, but I'm persuading myself that Sheffield United are going to win this one. Let's see if we get more nefarious Peterborough predictions this week. Where are we diving in? Here we go. Blades, Desmonds. Posh, Blades, draw, Blades. Yeah, it's quite heavy, this, isn't it? Let's keep it coming. Is this on the telly? By the way, someone just asked about a watch long. I don't know if it's a 12:30 game. There we go. If Sheffield United win against Peterborough and Birmingham away, they've played 11 matches at home and 16 away. A lot of matches at Bramall Lane coming up. Never a bad thing. Bloomer Mania. Running wild. Bad predictions are always running wild. So let's hope this one's a good one. Away. Let's go for Sheffield United in this one. How's the goals scored and conceded then? Not incredible. So we might need to plug in a 1-0 here, maybe. A low scorer. Oh, is it on at 5:30? It's fair. Well, very unlikely I'll be watching long. I've just finished the super stream and I'll literally set to collapse after those. So 6-1. I'll go for a 1-0. Peterborough 0, Sheffield United 1. 6-1 at betfair.com. Please gamble responsibly. More tea. Vicar. 3 to go. Preston versus Bristol City. Is this a bogey game, guys? I've got in the back of my head that one of these is a bogey team for the other. And I can't remember which way round. So I'm going to open the comments straight away. Is this a bogey team? Does one of them always beat the other? Someone tell me in the chat whilst I ramble on about Preston versus Bristol City. I'm quite impressed by Preston at the moment because I thought, new manager bounce, new manager schmounce. And then they got draw against Birmingham. Then the fight back against Sheffield United. They lost to Swansea, but that was damn impressive, wasn't it? The win at West Brom last night. Whatever people are saying about West Brom at the moment, Ryan Lowe has definitely had a good start at Preston manager, and he's definitely got the momentum going, hasn't he? Bristol City, well, I play their erratic card on them all the time, but I think they've got 2 informed forward players, haven't they? Semenyo and Vyman. Semenyo for the last 3-4 games, but Vyman all season has been tremendous. So there's goals in that Bristol City team, isn't it? Someone's going to tell me about a bogey. There you go. Preston are a bogey team for Bristol City, apparently. So bear that in mind. Otherwise, it's all fairly tight with the caveat that Bristol City are complete chaos and they could win 4-0 or lose 4-0, depending on which team comes out. Let's give you some numbers on this one. Keep predicting Preston draw, Bristol City, Preston draw, or Bristol City. Right, numbers. Preston by 3 in the table and by 6 in the XG and by 3 in the form and by 5 in the homes and aways. In terms of goals scored, it goes in Bristol City's favour by 7. And in terms of goals against, it's back to Preston by 4. There's a few red circles on my sheet next to Bristol City. XG, away form, and goals against. So those are not good predictors, by the way, for Bristol City. Let's see where we're going with this in the chat. Thanks for the heads up on the Joker team there. Sorry, the bogey team, not the Joker team. You know what I mean. Right, where are we landing? Here we go. Preston, draw, Preston. Did Matty James used to play for Preston? Didn't realise that. Bristol City never beat us. Ha, ha, ha. You like to see it. Right, let's keep scrolling these down. Yeah. Do you believe in bogey teams? Do you believe in the new manager bounce or the manager of the month curse? I don't know. I believe in bogey teams. Yeah, hit that like button. Do hit the like button. Although viewership's been really good this episode. Really, really happy. Sorry, I'm just getting all of your clicks up on the screen. I think I don't know what I think, evidently. Look, Bristol City, I think, are going to score. But Preston are good under Ryan Lowe. But can they outscore Bristol City, even though they can probably maybe control a lot of the game or certainly control the arc of the game? I don't know if they can. I think I might have to land on a draw here. I think we can mitigate the bogey team, can we? Let's do it. Draw. But what sort of a draw? Because Bristol City love a goal, don't they? Preston love a comeback. Maybe Bristol City will go 2-1 up, and I'm going to throw in another Desmond. Are we allowed to do that? 2 in a week? 2 in a week? Come on. Let's do it. Preston 2, Bristol City 2. 14-1. What am I doing? It's never going to happen, according to betfair.com. So, yeah, if you fancy a Desmond, Betfair don't. They'll take your money all day long on that, by the sounds of it. 14-1 over at betfair.com. I've gone 2-2 between Preston and Bristol City. Right, 2 to go. And then we're going to talk about a new manager at this next club. So, you probably figured out we're talking about Hull. And it's Hull versus Swansea predictions. Hull, draw, or Swansea. Get those predictions in for me. Hull, draw, or Swans. And everything is rosy in the garden of Hull City at the moment, isn't it? New owner, loan paid off to the EFL and transfer embargo over. Literally the next day, they signed Regan Slater from Sheffield United. And we're about to talk about, at the end of the stream, a new manager in there as well. So I won't say much more on Hull, and we'll save that for that particular monologue that's about to come out of my gob. Swansea. So we watched Swansea on Tuesday. And yeah, again, it wasn't the best game in the world. But at the moment, if you're going away to QPR and drawing, QPR are decent. They're on a winning streak. It's an away game. It's a clean sheet. And we use the word control a lot. And Swansea try and control every game they're in, don't they? With, with possession, essentially. Don't always succeed. But, when it works pretty effectively, doesn't it? So what I'm saying is both of these sides are capable of the win here. Maybe in terms of recent form and those back-to-back wins for Hull, I say that, it's still 5 points. It's 5 points in 3 for Swans and 6 points in 2 for Hull. Although Hull did have 4 wins on the trot earlier in the season. I don't know. Goodness me. I'm getting anxious now. I prefer it when I've already written my predictions down here and I don't have to worry about this stuff. Right, numbers. Table, Swansea by 2. XG, Hull by 1. Form, Hull by 3. Homes and away, Swansea by 1. Goals scored, Swansea by 4. Goals conceded, Hull by 4. Feels quite mixed and quite even between 17th and 19th in the table, especially given the good mood at the moment, at Hull. Let's have a look, see what you lot are saying in the chat. There we're going to start. Hull and Swans. Hull, Swans, draw, Swans, 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 Hull, 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 Swans, Hull, 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 Swans. A couple of draws in here. Sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong bit. I lost my rhythm there, didn't I? Let's click all of this. All of these predictions up here. Flynn Downs suspended and Jamie Patterson not playing. Flynn Downs hasn't sorted out his ability to get wound up since leaving Ipswich. Put it that way. I've got no idea how to call this. So I am going to sit on the feel-good and the winning streak at Hull and the fact that they've done it already once this season. Home! 3 wins in a row for Hull. Why the hell not? I don't know why I'm going for that. It's just a fun narrative, isn't it? Well, it's not a fun narrative if you're a Swansea fan, but there you go. Will Swansea score in this game? Probably. I went home. Go on. Let's go 2-0 Hull. I don't know why. And Betfair aren't too sure because they've gone 10-1 on that one. But let's go for a 2-0 and the feel-good factor. And can we have a new manager bounce as well as a new owner bounce? We're going to talk about that in just a jiffy. Last one. It's a good one, actually. Derby versus Birmingham. Get your predictions in. Derby versus Birmingham should be another fairly evenly contested one. This one, the Derby mega run ended, but it did end in the Brian Clough Derby and away at Forest, who are in decent form, aren't they? So no real evidence to say, oh, pack up and give up now, Derby, take your 21-point deduction and get relegated. Not really. I think there's a chance of a bounce back. They play Birmingham, who, from what I hear, were not very good at all against Peterborough and kind of snatched the 2-2 there at the end. They did win the previous game, but it was against Barnsley. And Barnsley, as we know, have not been very good at all this season. So I wonder, wonder, how do you see this one going? Derby versus Birmingham. Derby, draw, Birmingham. Derby, draw, or Birmingham. Here's your numbers. League table, Birmingham by 5. Real league table, take the deductions out, is Derby by 3. XG difference, Birmingham by 10. Woof. Form, Derby by 11. Homes and aways, Derby by 9. Goals scored, Birmingham by 5. Goals conceded, Derby by 15. Derby, 5th best goals against record. Birmingham, 20th. Ouchie. Home win, anybody? Let's have a look and see what you lot are saying on the predictions here. Right, there we go. Blues, Derby, draw, Derby, draw. Haven't seen you 0-0. Did I not play one? Oops, sorry, Cole. Maybe I have to save it for this one. Let's keep all of these almost sold out. Well done to those Derby fans. They have turned up in their masses, haven't they? 2-0 Derby on Danish TV on Sunday. You love to see it. We might get a look at that one, mightn't we? Bakuna and Lyle Taylor in at Birmingham. We will do some. Everyone's asking about my 0-0. I'm not playing one today, as you can realise. There we go. No 0-0 from me. I'm going to break the rules. It should be a good one if the away end's sold out. There's probably 30,000 in there. Sounds good to me. Is that on telly? Is that on telly on Sunday? I wonder. Oh, it says on my wall it's on telly at 1:30. So maybe we give that one a lookie. I'm gonna go with Mr. Rooney. I think. Home. Derby to get back to winning ways. I mean, they don't really do hammering, so I don't think there'll be a lot in it. So let's just plug in a simple little 1-0 to Derby. You'll get 11-2 from Betfair on that. And yes, I haven't played a 0-0. Stop telling me off in the chat. 11-2, betfair.com. Please gamble responsibly. Right. It says Q&A down the bottom there. We're not going to do a Q&A because in the time we've been on, Hull have announced their new manager. So we are going to talk about that. My apologies if you wanted to do a Q&A. Really quickly, do head over to football365.com. Can you see the menu at the top there? Just click on Championship Predictor. You can't see my cursor, can you? But if I do that, it should underline. And then once you got you sign up with your email address, and once you got all of that sorted, submit my predictions, confirm. There is no way those odds are correct. It's way higher than that. I don't know what's going on there. It's way more than 17,000 to 1. I'm sure this weekend we've had 100,000 to 1 before. But anyway, that's my predictions submitted. Hopefully there's not a ghost in the machine in the predictor technology. Do get involved in that. Forgive me 1 second and do get your thoughts in on the new Hull City manager, who we are going to be talking about imminently. I'm just pressing a couple of buttons on the opposite screen and we will be ready to go for a little bit of a monologue about this, but we will take comments at the end. Don't all leave in your droves. Let me just write my timestamp down. And you know what? We'll probably do that as well. Where should we put this timestamp? 55. Okay, it has been announced since we've been on air that Hull City have appointed their new head coach, Shota Arveladze. Look, we've frankly known about it since the weekend, but they've gone very, very slowly with all the announcements, have Hull, haven't they? We had the takeover, I think, last Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe. The first game was on the Wednesday, weren't they? Then the good result at the weekend. Then the firing of Grant McCann. Don't worry about that in this video. I've done another video on that. So if you do want to comment on that, that's probably the place. Because frankly, it's been, gone, happened. And we knew that the preferred choice was Shota Arveladze. If you remember, the statement from Hull did say, our new manager will be announced shortly. It didn't say, we will now begin the process of looking for a new manager. We will leave no stone unturned, blah, blah, blah. This will be a long process. No, it said our new manager will be announced shortly. And this was the name that came out in the wash. Shota Arveladze, who was a great striker, actually, back in the day for Ajax and Glasgow Rangers. We'll get his Wikipedia up, but in fact, I've got it on the screen. 258 club goals and 26 international goals. I think that classes as a goal machine, doesn't it? Brilliant stuff there. So look, let's read from the statement and get your comments on anything I say, and I'll chip in with my opinions. Hull are delighted to announce the appointment of Shota Arveladze, 2.5-year deal. So it'll take him to the end of 21-22, and then the next two seasons, 22-23 and 23-24, is how long that contract lasts for. 48 years old, manager, 300 games with 5 clubs in 3 different countries, boasting a win percentage of over 50%. That is fantastic. And I don't want to pee on anybody's strawberries here, but we heard exactly the same thing about Vladimir Ivic, who had that ungodly win percentage, didn't he, in Israel, and where else did he manage? Ivic, Greece, I think, can't remember. But anyway, hey, different person. I'm just giving a comparison there. Last managerial post came in Uzbekistan. Interesting. What's everybody's favourite Uzbekistani team then? It's right over my head, that one for sure. Where he was appointed by the same ownership group as Everton. During his 3-year spell, Arveladze won 5 trophies. Fine. He was very good in Uzbekistan. He's also managed in Turkey. Okay, that's a bit more meat on the bone. And Israel, very much like Vladimir Ivic then, Maccabi Tel Aviv. Coached in Holland alongside Louis van Gaal, Ronald Koeman, and Dick Advocaat. Okay, there's some pretty good name drops. I'll give you that one. Georgia's all-time leading scorer. Do you remember Georgie Kinclardsey? What a player he was as well. Same time, lifted the title in Scotland with Rangers and in Holland with Ajax. And there's some quotes here from Shota Arveladze. I want to say thank you to everyone who's given me this opportunity. I believe everyone who's in this sector in football wants to be in England, and I'm happy with the young talents we have. We have parts of the team where we were creative, talented parts with experience. It's a good mix. I like attractive football, don't we all? When supporters are on your side, hint. Sorry, where am I reading from? They want to come. They love to come and watch the game. It's great to have this game, Swansea City, as soon as possible. I'm really looking forward to being here to meet the supporters. We're going to try our best to show really good football, attacking football. The main target is always going to be to win. The fans have come to come and cheer for the club they love, and the boys. We have great players. Let's do this. Let's cheer together and let's win together. Okay, fine. Look, let's be quite frank. When we get a manager that's come into the Championship, and I don't want to sound like, oh, this is our league. You don't know our league until you've worked on it. But that's kind of the point I'm making. We just don't know, do we? We've seen managers come in from foreign climes, and I'm talking about, I don't know, Veljko Paunovic last season to Reading. I'd never heard of him. Never heard of half the Barnsley managers, although that seemed to be very direct into the Red Bull Group and the Austrian League. I'd never heard of Poya Asbaghi, the current manager there. We already mentioned Vladimir Ivic at Watford, who seems he's even got the Israel link here. I suppose what this guy Arveladze has is this great pedigree as a player in terms of being an Ajax player and playing in Britain, I suppose, for Glasgow Rangers is, I suppose, less of degrees of separation than maybe some of the names that have come into the Championship. But it's not an unusual hire, and we believe he is linked fairly well with the new Turkish ownership there. 48 years old as well. We've seen people like, I think, Struber and Isbaghi and the Barnsley lot, Ismail, even people like Daniel Farker, when he came into Norwich, David Wagner were a bit younger than that. I'm trying to think, possibly not all of them, but not exactly that profile because of his excellent playing caliber. But look, we all can probably name 10 great players or very good players or excellent players that didn't go on to make great managers, despite working with, incredibly. I always bring up David Platt. Think of the managers David Platt played under, and he never really worked out. He was more an assistant manager, wasn't he? So you never know. You never know. In terms of Hull, I don't know whether they're going to do anything else in the remaining sort of 4 or 5 days of the window. In terms of the squad, is it immediately going to shoot up the league with that squad? I mean, look, we like Greaves and Honeyman's very good, and Lewis Potter as well on the wing. Bernard's a good loanee, backs to the keeper. So there's something there, but do I see a new manager coming in and taking that group of players immediately up the table? Not really, no. But he might be a really good new manager. You never know. He might do that, and we might all sit here and go, "Oh, that Arveladze, he got a tune. He was much better than Grant McCann, wasn't he?" So proof as ever is going to be in the pudding. What I will say, and I don't want to get too down the road of the McCann sacking. We've dealt with that in the other video, and I very much think two things can be true there. Yes, it is a bit ruthless and a bit tough on McCann. That is true, but it's also true that me, you, I, everyone have to kind of respect if somebody buys something, they can put their own people in charge. And it sucks for the guy who's in there already and gets the boot, but it is what it is. And I do respect anyone who buys a football club, a house, a car. You can buy the most beautiful vintage car in the world if you want and stick a stupid spoiler and furry dice, and it's up to you. That's your right, and I do respect that. Of course, there is that 10-point gap. 9-point gap. I must have spoken about this previously before Peterborough got their recent point. But I don't really see the teams down there all zooming past Hull, especially with a 10-point gap. 9-point gap is the one that we're most concerned with. So look, I'll say what I always say. Good luck to Shota Arveladze. What he's got to replicate from Grant McCann this season is a point per game. It's 29 from 27, so just over. And you know me, 45 to survive. I think it'll be lower than that this season, won't it? So if Hull are around 47, 48 points by the end of the season, 2 above a point per game, that's par, isn't it? Because that's what McCann did. And he might get a couple of extra players. We should, of course, take into account a bedding in period. But again, that then comes back into the conversation with owners. If you choose in the middle of the season in the transfer window to immediately switch the manager, you can't really complain about a lack of a bedding in period, can you? So maybe park that observation to one side. So I wish him luck. I don't know where McCann would have taken Hull. It's impossible to say, because where would McCann have taken Hull under the alarms, and where would he have taken them under the new ownership? And was his name too firmly attached to the old ownership? I don't know. It's a tricky one. It's a new broom. Good luck to Arveladze. Big reputation as a player. I'm sure we'll get some friends from Glasgow Rangers now interested when we're making videos about Hull, because that's the size of that club. And we'll see how it pans out. I don't expect they're going to go down. I don't think they will. Famous last words there. And we'll see how he does. And if he's around that 46 to 48 point mark, he's fine. And then he gets the close season, and we'll put some meat on the bone there. Let's read your comments on Hull City. Where shall we dive in? Finn, as a Hull fan, I think keeping McCann would have secured safety. However, I trust Ichali, I think it is. I think it's a Ch. Who cares? He's really trying to build something special. I would have made this decision long ago. Often happens with new owners. Have a sneaky feeling it might backfire, as recent form was decent. Is this the first club he's owned? I don't know. Someone help us out in the chat with that one. Any other comments on this one? Just as well, I announced this days ago. Well, Chris, you know me. I need to see an official announcement before I'm going to talk about anything of this matter. Assistant to Van Gaal, Ronald Koeman, Ronald Korean, and Doug Advocaat. Nice. Very nice. There you go. Maybe we've got some spell check on that. My favourite Uzbeki team is, right, here comes my pronunciation, Pakhatur Tashkent. Yes, what an excellent team they are. Didn't Karanka have a good CV? He had a way better CV than this, David, didn't he? Because he had a promotion in the Championship, which all owners love, don't they? Has the Tiger Ledger store in Istanbul opened yet? Bring it on. Anything else? Okay, there you go. He's owned Fortuna Sittard in Holland. There we go. Right. Okay. So Shota Arveladze, look, let's be quite honest about it. We don't know, do we? We do not know how this is going to pan out. Good luck to him. And yeah, the owners are going to look very ambitious and very good, or going to have a bit of egg on their face, and we'll see where Grant McCann pops up. But as I always say, good luck. We don't like to see anybody fail. Right. That just about concludes it. Thank you to Betfair and Football 365. Remember to head over to gymvintage.com where you can get your discount code. It's all going to tick along. It's BBFC space Jan. And you're going to get 15% off if you use that at checkout on gym-vintage.com. Yeah, it's going to tick along in about 10 minutes. So there we go. Thank you, everybody, for your predictions. And we will be back tomorrow for Huddersfield v Stoke. You never know. Maybe before that, if some news pops up. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's a lovely big over and out from... Where's the advert? Lovely big over and out from me. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.